Hey everyone, it's Mafalda and today I'm going to be reacting to 1-star reviews of my favorite books. So today basically I chose violence because I know I'm gonna get hurt doing this, but I'm still doing it like a dumbass. So a couple of months ago I saw Pages of Haley do this video on her channel and I just thought it was so much fun to watch, at least, not to experience probably. I just decided to do the same thing and I don't really know how this is gonna go because usually I just respect people's opinions, and even if a friend of mine doesn't like a book that I love, I tend to not take it personally because I know that people have different opinions on books and it's normal. But still, I just want to see how I react to 1-star reviews of some of my favorite books. And yeah, let's just get started, I guess. I honestly don't even know where to start because I actually have already done this with one book. When I saw Pages of Haley do that video, I immediately went to the 1-star reviews on Goodreads for The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is back here. And yeah, so I'm not gonna react to those because I've already seen them and I was pretty upset. But at the same time I was like, they can have those opinions, I still love the book and it still means a lot to me. And so I think I'm gonna go to Percy Jackson next. I'm gonna go to the first book, which is probably the one that has the most ratings, and honestly I don't even know who would give 1 star to Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Like, don't you like adventure? Don't you like to be happy? I don't get you, but let's see what people say about the Lightning Thief. So yeah, there's not a lot of 1-star reviews to be honest, which I'm happy about. And also, obviously I'm gonna keep all of the reviews anonymous, and if you're somehow one of these reviews, please don't be offended about what I say. Okay, so I just stumbled upon one that was written in 2017 and it says, badly written and very sexist, evil is synonymous with ugly and fat. And honestly, we have to take a moment just to think that this book was written in like, I don't even know, but like 2005 or something, and obviously the beauty standards were very different at the time, and yeah, fat jokes are not great and have not been great all throughout the past 20 years, but they did happen at the start of this century and we just gotta accept that that's gonna come up in books from 2003, 4, 5. Hello, so Mafalda from the future here. I really didn't like what I said about this review here because I really glossed over the fact that there's really bad and harmful rep in this book for fat people. And so I am truly sorry for kind of glossing over and saying, oh, it's not great. No, it's terrible, it's harmful. I know how bad it can be to see your body type or anything about your appearance represented in a book in a derogatory way, so I just wanted to say sorry for saying these things. I just kind of wanted to put this review in a time perspective, seeing as this book is kind of old and things were written in a different way at that time. Because unfortunately, types of comments on people's body weight and looks were very normalized at the time. I just wouldn't understand it if the book was written like last year or something, but yeah. Then girls Percy doesn't like are all described as ugly and masculine, and it is made sure that the reader knows that masculine traits in a girl or a woman mean that she is evil. And yeah, I do understand the criticism, but at the same time this book is old and I love Percy Jackson so much. I can't, like, I understand. I reread these books last year and I did like encounter those parts and I was like, okay, this would be problematic today, but at the time it wasn't because it was normalized. So I don't know. I'm so confused. I don't know if I should just like try to defend myself in my book. And you would not think it possible to turn Greek mythology into conservative American nationalism, but Riordan managed even that. If you are looking for a book to buy for a teenager, do get something else. Most bricks are better literature than this. Okay, I think this is a very harsh criticism. Also, I do understand the conservative American nationalism criticism, but at the same time, I feel like most YA books written by American authors are kind of like that, especially ones that involve fantasy. Like, America is always at the top and is always the best. So yeah, I do understand a lot of what is said here, but at the same time, I think this is being very rough for a book published so long ago and for kids. Like, it's not that deep. Okay, so another review here from 2012, and it says, I read about 50 pages in, not one character was likable to me, but I was willing to continue until Riordan went on his imperialist gloss about Western civilization being the most important in history. I feel like I was saying, I feel like we get a lot of that from YA fantasies and YA dystopians and everything, so yeah, I'm kind of like, my brain is kind of used to it by now, I guess. Seriously offended my post-colonial sensibilities. I couldn't continue with no characters to like and the author spewing his personal idiocy. Also feel like this is very rough, but I do understand everything. Like, I'm not trying to say that this doesn't have all of that. When I first read it, I was a child, I didn't get that. When I read it last year, I kind of got that, but at the same time, I was just like, this is a book for kids, this is not that deep, and I just need to concentrate that this is just for fun. It's just a little bit of fun and adventure and fun characters, and I feel like all the characters were very likable. I don't get that criticism at all. I actually feel like Rick Riordan writes very likable and fun characters. I feel like he's like the best at it, especially fun characters and funny characters that actually make you laugh out loud. If you've read Leo, you know he's the most funny character ever, so I don't know, but I'm kind of offended. Let's continue. Let's see one more and then move on to something else. I love this review from 2010 that just said, couldn't finish it. And okay, like, that's a fair review. I have nothing to add, and honestly, I feel like that with a lot of books, so yeah, I love this review. Also, I love that most one-star reviews for this book start with like, I know my friends are gonna be mad, but, or they start with like, I know I'm gonna get hate on this, but it's just so funny because this is such a well-loved book from everyone in this community, so yeah. Okay, so last review from 2009, and it says, can't help but think of Harry Potter when you read this. It rips off it pretty bad, giving it a mutilated Greek mythology spin. It's a pretty sad imitation, like comparing a warm, nutritious, delicious, satisfying for all ages meal with a hot fudge Pop-Tart. What did I just read? It just synced in. Oh, shoddily put together and leaves you feeling empty with a bellyache. Definitely not a YA that can entertain beyond its target audience of sugar-hopped kids. Obviously, all YA fantasy series from this time are kind of similar all between them, and obviously Harry Potter came before these series, so maybe Rick Riordan read Harry Potter and wasn't somehow inspired, I don't even know, but like the chosen one trope is the most used trope in YA fantasy. So I feel like that's why people compare Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, The Hunger Games, Divergent all together. Not only because they were very popular at the same time in like the late 2000s and early 2010s, and they all have the chosen one trope, the one that is different, the one that is gonna save everything, and that's why they're all so similar. And also not only the chosen one trope, but like the three main characters where mostly it's like two guys and a girl, and also the love triangle trope, which is also very used in all of these series. And honestly, I just feel like that was the formula to write YA books in the 2000s, so yeah, they're all similar, but we still love them, okay? I don't know how to explain that they're all different, but they're all good, and they all have the same things in the book. Okay, so case closed for Percy Jackson. I'm tired of defending this world, so let's move on to The Shadow of the Wind, which is also one of my favorite books. And honestly, I've never seen anyone rate this book less than a 3-star, or even, I don't even think I've seen anyone rated a 3-star, so let's see the 1-star reviews. Why not? It's so funny because I'm scrolling through and a lot of the reviews are like, I wish I loved this book, a lot of my friends love this book. Yes, you should have liked that book, okay? Because it's beautiful and exciting and a lot of mystery and a lot of adventure and whimsical writing, and yes. But let's see. A mad review. That's what I want. I want mad reviews. Okay, so we have a review from 2014, and this is pretty big, so I'm gonna try and keep it light and short. But it says, dire. That's the first word, dire. The writing is along Dan Brown lines, which I've never read from, so don't really know, with flowery metaphors mixed until they become meaningless. From page 1, my father sighed, hiding behind the sad smile that followed him like a shadow all throughout his life. How can he be hiding behind it if it's following him? Okay, I do understand that, but at the same time, like, I read this book, the Portuguese translation, so it's probably closer to the original work in Spanish than the English translation, which I've never read from. Then on the next page, someone is described as having vulturine features, but in the following sentence, he has an aquiline gaze. This sloppiness is everywhere. Like I said, I read the Portuguese translation, so I bet it's not as bad as it is in English, and that's the fault of the translator, not the actual work of Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Well, there may be some things that are kind of like contradictory. I feel like the best part of this book is the story, so just get over the writing and read the story for the story itself. The whole thing feels like it desperately wants to be seen as some kind of profound parable. The only result is that the characters are just implausible symbols. They are too bland even to hate, unlike the book itself, which I loathed. Loathed is, I don't know how to say that word, loathed. That word is strong, man. Like, you really hated this book, but honestly, I feel like you're being very harsh. That's all I keep saying, like, you're being very harsh. Please reconsider your opinion of this book, which is amazing, and then get back to me. I don't know. Unfortunately, I can't really confirm or deny anything that this review has said because I read a different version, so yeah, but I didn't really see a lot of things that were like contradicting itself or like metaphors that didn't make sense. And honestly, I can't believe that this person read a 600-page book and saved these two minuscule examples just to use in their Goodreads review. Like, that is dedication, and that is really hating a book and really wanting to show that you hate the book. I respect that, honestly. Okay, I love this review from 2012, and it says 1.5 stars, so it's not a full 1 star, which is good. Tedious, gimmicky, too cute, which I don't understand how this book is too cute because I feel like this book is honestly kind of dark. And then too long, which I honestly understand. This book is like 600 pages, so I do understand that, and honestly it has, at least my edition is 600 pages and the font is small as hell. So yeah, too long, I do understand. Too cute, I don't understand at all. And then it says, for me, the biggest mystery of The Shadow of the Wind is its tremendous popularity. And yeah, this book is pretty popular, and like a lot of the reviews are saying, even the people that didn't like this book wish they liked this book because it's just so popular and so well loved. I do understand the too long review, not the tedious and too cute review, because I feel like this book is full of adventure and just like super fast-paced and super, like, I don't know, action-packed. Like, a lot of things are always happening, so I don't get how it could be tedious. Maybe if you don't like long descriptions of settings and people, maybe you won't like this book because this book has a lot of like flowery writing and just like descriptions overall. So maybe that's why it could be tedious, but at the same time, I feel like the book is super action-packed, so I don't know. Okay, so let's move on to another book, and let's go to The Wizard of Oz, one of my favorite books and my favorite stories and my favorite characters, and I am nervous because I feel like this is probably less loved than the two others that I picked. So yeah, let's see the 1-star reviews for The Wizard of Oz. I love this review from 2018, and it just says, lol, okay. And then it says, I'm committed to finishing this summer readathon that I've been on since 2015. What are you doing, man? Like, it's been 3 years. And had to read something to do with Kansas. Alright then. This person is clearly like, I just had to read this for a readathon and I'm sick and tired of this. And I love that energy. Love it. Oh my god, this review from 2010. Oh my god, it says, flying monkeys. Need I say more? I'm literally joking. This is the best review I've ever seen. Thank you for this moment. And honestly, you don't need to say more. I do understand why flying monkeys could be a turn-off, but it's not for me. I like that aspect of the books. I love monkeys, so just having monkeys in a story, I'm like, yes, give them wings. It's okay. Okay, this review is interesting. The person says, for a children's book, I think it is nice, but I suppose I'm too old to really still enjoy it. Which I do understand. Like, I love this book so much, and I read it when I was like 15 or something. And I only love it this much because I just absolutely loved the movie growing up. So I just have a lot of fond memories of watching the movie, and then when I first read the book, I was just like, I still love this world and these characters, and I loved knowing more and actually reading the original work for the first time. I do understand, like, it does read like a children's book, but because it is a children's book, you know? But like, I feel like adults who read children's book always have to have that into account. Like, you're reading a children's book. Obviously, you're not gonna like it as much as you would a YA or an adult book. It's just written for a different audience, so it's normal that you're not going to like it the same way. I think you always have to put things into perspective and not rate children's books the same way you rate adult books, because it just doesn't make sense, because it's not the same thing. So I do understand why people say these types of stuff, but it's like, you can't really say that, because like, obviously you're too old to read a children's book. Because it is a children's book, it's not made for a... Then it says, I never knew about the existence of this when I was a child, but I've heard about it last year and became very curious. I'm glad to finally know the original story, yet I won't continue the series. I am interested, however, in retellings of it. And honestly, I just found this review interesting because, like, how can you not have heard of The Wizard of Oz? I don't know, even if you only know the movie, I feel like everyone knows the movie. Like with Judy Garland, like, how can you not know about that movie? So I just thought this review was interesting. Also love this review that just says, I didn't even read it, and they gave 1 star to this book. Like, why would you do that? I don't get it. Like, do you hate The Wizard of Oz that much? But yeah, let's move on to another book, and honestly, I don't even know which book I'm gonna pick now. Oh, I'm gonna pick Heartstopper, because like The Shadow of the Wind, I've never seen anyone rate this lower than a 4-star, honestly. So I am curious to see who rates this book 1 star and what do they say about it. Honestly, are there any 1-star reviews for Heartstopper? I'm gonna go with the first volume, by the way. Oh my god, the 1-star bar thing that they show is so small you can barely see it, but there are still 1-star reviews here, so let me just see. What do I find? I'm scared. For example, we have one review here that says, damn, this was bad, sorry. It's more cringy than cute, and it really has no story, and the only thing they're doing is kissing each other. Not for me. And honestly, do you like to be sad? Maybe you do, I don't know. And let them kiss. Let the boys kiss. I love this review from last year. It says, please do not come after me with your pitchforks. And yeah, I feel like if you give 1 star to this book, you will get pitchforks, you will get basically cancelled. Oh my god, I just stumbled upon a homophobic review of this book. I don't even know if I should share this, but I'm gonna share it. I don't care. It says, I'm sorry, I'm obviously not the target reader for this, so 1 word, gross. This might be cuter if they're not gay. Either Nick or Charlie is a girl. Nonetheless, the storyline will still be plain if one of them is a girl. The art is clean and cutesy, but nothing extraordinary. And oh my god, this speaks multitudes. Like, just saying that if one of them is a girl and if it's a heterosexual relationship, it's going to be cute. That just speaks a lot to me. Okay, so apparently there are a lot of homophobic reviews of this book. Kind of wasn't expecting, because like, the book has 2 guys on the cover and it says boy meets boy, and how can you not link those 2 things and think, oh, this is a book about 2 guys falling in love? But this review says strong profanity with an exclamation point, just to prove the point, and it says couldn't finish it. Why would you read it in the first place if you think this is a profanity? Like, I don't get it. Okay, so honestly, there aren't that many 1-star reviews. I went through all of them and they're not even that... Well, they're bad, but some of them are like they really go into it and I just don't feel like it right now, so I'm gonna move on to the final book. And honestly, I don't even know which book to pick because I don't know, I'm scared. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a recent favorite, which I think will have a lot of 1-star reviews because this book is very weird. So I'm gonna pick Dig by A.S. King. And this one doesn't have a lot of reviews overall, but let's see the 1-star reviews and let's see what people say, because I feel like I can understand the criticism to this book. If it's like, oh, this book is very confusing, I do understand that, so let's see what people say. Okay, so this is what's annoying me about the reviews of this book, is that a lot of people DNF'd it like halfway or even like 70% of the way through, so they didn't get the point of the book. So there's one person here that DNF'd the book at 155 pages, and they say that I didn't know what it was about, where it was going, or who to care about. I didn't care about anyone and my plane landed, so I moved on to something else. And that's so unfortunate because I feel like you only get most of the things of this book by the end of it, so like DNFing it is not the way to go with this book. So if you're thinking of reading it, please don't DNF it. Please read it till the end, because at the end everything becomes clearer and you get who is who, and you even get the names of the characters, because for most of the book you don't have names for the characters, because one character is called the Freak, one is called the Shoveler, and you're like, what is happening? Who are these people? And then by the end you get what's going on, so don't DNF this book, please! Read it till the end. I feel like you wouldn't give it a 1-star if you had read all the way through, but okay, that's just my opinion. Okay, so in the last review that I'm gonna see today is from last year, and it says, tried to give it a fair chance, but it was too uncomfortable and disturbing. Not the way I want to see teen lives depicted, just couldn't do it. And that's also the thing that this book is trying to do. This book is trying to make you uncomfortable, especially if you're white, because this book is a lot about white privilege and just privilege in general. And so like making you uncomfortable is what it's trying to do, because you're not really sure who you're supposed to root for. So I do understand that criticism, but at the same time, you should take that as a positive. Like, books sometimes are supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, just kind of like disrupt your way of thinking and your way of living. And yeah, so that concludes my video of reading 1-star reviews of my favorite books. And honestly, if you would like to see a part 2 to this video, I would definitely do that, because there are so many books that I could pick and see 1-star reviews for. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't. Also comment down below if you've read any of these books and if you agree with the reviews I just read, or if you think like me that they're being too harsh on these books, on my babies. Please don't be like that. I think I've never given 1 star to any book, or I've given it to like 5 books tops. All of my life. In terms of book reviewing, I'm not really a negative person, so I don't really understand people who give 1 stars all the time. But yeah, this was fun still, just seeing different opinions from my own. And yeah, I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye!